Attention to the reading, you may have wondered what in the world is Pastor going to be preaching about if the first text that was read was a text about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And I'm glad you asked that. We're all looking forward to Thanksgiving, aren't we? Yes, we are. But I'm curious. You let me know. What do you prepare first? What do you prepare first? Somebody. Anyway. What's the first thing?
Where are you going to have it?
We're going to have it. What are you going to do?
Dessert.
Dessert. What else? Stuffing. So, it depends on how you're organized in the kitchen. Whether you prepare the meat, the sides, the rolls, or the desserts. Well, I hope that you're going to begin by putting the main thing first. Before you start marinating the turkey, I hope you're putting the main things first. If you received our Thanksgiving letter, you may recall a quote from Stephen Covey's book. The title was, "The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing." In other words, we all need priorities in our lives. So what's the main thing in Thanksgiving? Listen to what some middle schoolers thought was the main thing about Thanksgiving. Danielle wrote, "What Thanksgiving means to me? Thanksgiving means is a time for all my family, where all my family gets together. Even my family that lives out of state. Thanksgiving is the only time I see my great-grandma. So it is special to me. And I can't wait until it's Thanksgiving so I can see Grandma again." Casey wrote, "The only real good reason I like Thanksgiving is because there is no school." My favorite Thanksgiving was last year. Instead of going to my boring cousin's house, I had a hockey game. I played hockey instead. I don't even like turkey. Thanksgiving is fun for everyone. Families all get together. This is accurate spelling, I'm going to Las Vegas, LOL, this Thanksgiving. I think it will be much funner in Vegas than in New York at Thanksgiving. And then Kim wrote, "For Thanksgiving, I go to my grandma's house in Brooklyn. I actually go there every week. Sometimes my cousins come. That's good because there's more people. In the morning, we watch a parade on TV. Eating turkey is not rare for me. I like turkey a lot, and so I eat turkey almost every day. Thanksgiving to me also means that Christmas is coming." These students reveal some of what is important to them and their families. It reveals their values. It is obvious that two of the main things for them about Thanksgiving was family and food. And before one child has finished consuming her meal, she's looking forward to that other great holiday, Christmas. What is really the main thing in Thanksgiving? It isn't the turkey, or the squash, or the turnips. It's surely not a table full of food that will end up in storage containers to serve for the next day and for turkey sandwiches throughout the week. It couldn't be just a gathering of family and friends, because far too many people will spend Thanksgiving Day alone, separated from parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles. Let me put a pin there. If you know anyone in this congregation who will be spending Thanksgiving alone, don't let them do that. Speak to them and ask them. We have a spare chair available at our table, and we'd be honored if you'd join us. If you know somebody on the block who's going to be alone, invite them to your table. I think of the people who are in nursing homes, who will be eating at tables decorated by the staff, but some of them will not even know where they are or who they're eating at the table with. What's the main thing in Thanksgiving? It can't simply be a day of celebration, looking back to 1621, when pilgrims and members of the Patuxet tribe ate together. It's a big celebration for Americans, but not so much for some Native Americans who know the history of how many Native Americans were killed, their women assaulted, and their children murdered, their land and resources plundered. Paul's letter to the Thessalonians suggests that the main thing in Thanksgiving should be Jesus Christ. I'll read the text again. Give thanks in all things, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Being thankful in all things is to fulfill the will of God. But giving thanks in all things does not imply that all things are good. Instead, Christians are expected to give thanks because of our confidence in the providence of God in any and every circumstance of our lives, especially as it reads in Romans 8:28. And we know, which was part of our Sunday school lesson this morning, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. In other words, everything isn't good, but God can turn even the worst experience into something truly worthy of thanksgiving. Being thankful is acknowledging that you received a gift. Being thankful is consciousness that every breath we take is a gift from God. Every day we awaken is a gift from God, because many don't awaken. The Greek word for grateful is charis, and it suggests a favor, a gift, or anything that we receive that was unexpected, unearned, and undeserved. And the Lord is telling each of us today that he wants us to be grateful for every gift that we have received, whether we receive them from the hands of humans or whether we're alert enough and wise enough to recognize, as James said, every good and perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Now, the gospel text this morning has some hearty suggestions for Thanksgiving. On the surface, the verses appear to have nothing to do with Thanksgiving at all, to do with family or friends. I hope you can appreciate the truckload of blessings packed into this text about being thankful, because we are all undeserving, and we've all received gifts that are unexpected and unearned because of Jesus Christ. The text shows us one place where Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." The second part of the text says, "I tell you the truth, today you will be with me in paradise." And the third part of the text tells us, "Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit." And each of these messages from the cross is reason for thanksgiving. Each of these messages helps us to see the main things in Thanksgiving. After they had stretched his arms wide and hammered spikes into his wrists and feet, while he was hanging there, he started passing out gifts to each of us. The text suggests that there's four main things in Thanksgiving. The first is forgiveness. The second, salvation. The third, a guaranteed arrival. And the fourth, commitment. The first main thing in Thanksgiving is forgiveness. Jesus' first gift was forgiveness. As he continued bleeding and suffering, Jesus spoke to the Father, saying, Father, forgive them. Forgive my accusers and my executioners. My parents taught me the difference between right and wrong from an early age. So in middle school, and probably earlier, no one needed to tell me when I was doing right. I knew fully well, that I was doing something wrong, and I was hoping that nobody would catch me at it. But there's Jesus, hanging on the cross, looking across the millennia at us, and saying, Father, forgive Ken for all his wrongs, and forgive him in advance for all the sins that he is not even sure are sins, and the ones that he knows are obvious sins. But we can't cash in on the forgiveness if we don't recognize that Jesus is the one who is giving that gift. We can't cash in on the gift of forgiveness. We can't really be thankful unless we recognize that it is only because Jesus died on the cross that we can have forgiveness. All believers should thank the Lord today. And as you gather as band with family and friends this Thanksgiving, think about the things for which you've been forgiven. It will make you thankful. Think of the number of times in your relationship with some of the people seated around the table that you have offended or who have offended you, and you or they offered their forgiveness for what you had done and what they had done to you. They put aside all thoughts of revenge and have decided to move on with their lives. They've decided not to hold grudges against you. Otherwise, they would not be sitting at the table eating from the horn of plenty with you, especially you, especially me. And you know what? It might be good as you sit around the table to say, I forgive you, Tommy, right? I forgive you, John. I forgive you, Dan. And to ask them, can you forgive me? And say, well, for what? For whatever I've done in the past. I can't remember now what I did. But whatever I did to hurt you, I forgive you. The second main thing in Thanksgiving is salvation. I thank the Lord because as Jesus was hanging on that old rugged cross, some of the people were cheering and taunting Jesus. They said, he saved others. Let him save himself. If he is really the Christ of God, the chosen one, let him save himself. But we need to thank God that Jesus didn't try to save himself. Because as he said, he could have called 72,000 angels to avenge and rescue him. But no, he refused to save himself. He refused to come down from the cross. He refused to leave the vertical altar on which he was dying on as a sacrificial lamb for you and for me and for our family members and friends. He didn't save himself because he didn't need to be saved. Only sinners need salvation. You only need salvation if you realize that you're really going to perish. Jesus didn't save himself because it was only by his death and resurrection that he could prove to skeptics that he was in fact the Messiah. Jesus accepted suffering and death because he knew that on the third day he would rise from the dead and prove in fact that he is Messiah, HaMashiach. The third main thing in Thanksgiving is a guaranteed arrival. No matter where I have traveled in the past, Mel, wherever you are, where's Mel? He's not here. Wherever Mel is on the road now, there's no guarantee that he's going to get there. People buy tickets to airplanes, trains, Air flights get canceled. Stuff happens along the road. And they have to say, I'm sorry, but we can't take you any further. You're going to have to find an alternate means to get to your destination. But the third thing in Thanksgiving is a guaranteed arrival. When one of the criminals heard insults being hurled by one of the other thieves, he came to the defense of Jesus and reminded the thief that we are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong. Then he said, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus responded, I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise. Which was his assurance that the thief had a guaranteed arrival into paradise that very day. I thank God because he forgives me of all my sins. I thank God because with his forgiveness, he also gives me an everlasting life. And I thank God with the gift of everlasting life, he has assured me guaranteed arrival, no matter where it is that I die or when I die. My arrival is assured. With the Lord's promises, I am assured that death cannot keep me in the ground. With the promises of the Lord, I know that with death and the resurrection comes the assurance that even for my family, God has promised that he will wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. Finally, the fourth main thing in Thanksgiving is commitment. After Jesus had forgiven his executioners, and we who helped drive nails into him with our own sins, after he had refused to save himself, after he had guaranteed a right for the sinner beside him, then between the 6th and the 9th hour, when darkness had come over the whole land, Jesus called out with a loud voice, Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit. The fourth thing in Thanksgiving is commitment. To commit is to entrust. To entrust someone with something of great value. And when Jesus committed his spirit to the Father, he was trusting God to keep his promises, especially the promise to raise him from the dead. He was telling God, I'm putting my trust in you. I'm depending on you to keep your word. I'm holding you to all of your promises. Brothers and sisters, as I look forward to celebrating Thanksgiving with our family, I'm giving thanks for the commitment of Jesus Christ to give up his life with only the assurances of his word and the Spirit of the Lord. And if Jesus could accept the word of the Lord, then surely I can accept his word for every detail in my life. We can accept the Lord's word for every detail in our lives. With his resurrection, he confirms to me and you that his word and his promises are true and sure. Yes, brothers and sisters, the fourth main thing in Thanksgiving is commitment. Commitment is a sure thing. It's not like the lotto or poker. You don't know what you're going to get. It's not like a box of chocolates. But you don't know what's in that chocolate. It's more like planting a garden. If you keep digging, you are sure to come up with dirt, with worms, or stones, and rocks. Jesus wants us to know that his commitment is as sure as a rock, because he is the rock of ages. He is the rock the solid rock on which I stand, and all other ground is sinking sand. As you gather with family and friends this Thanksgiving, before the turkey is sliced, before serving Grandma's green bean casserole, and before lavishing pumpkin pies with freshly whipped cream, before you chow down, make sure you also put the main thing in Thanksgiving. The main thing is that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. The main thing is that God raised Jesus from the dead, beating death down forever. The main thing is that God is for us. If with God for us, who can be against us? And maybe, as you said, maybe you might hand out some sheets of paper with a hymn printed on it 2 verses from the song that we sang earlier. Now thank we all our God, with hearts and hands and voices, who wondrous things has done, in whom his world rejoices, who from our mother's arms has blessed us on our way, with countless gifts of love, and still is ours today. O may this bounteous God, through all our life be near us, with ever joyful hearts, and blessed peace to cheer us, to keep us in his grace, and guide us when perplexed, and free us from all ills of this world and